When we first got together, I thought that marriage was going to fix me. I thought marriage was going to make it all better. I thought marriage was going to fix the problems that I had, and that I was going to be a man that was faithful to his wife, and everything was going to be perfect, and life was going to be great because I finally found like the one person. The problem was, even though I'd got with a good person, I had still brought my shitty self into the picture. And that was the person that I said, oh, I'm a good person, but I wasn't actually showing up as a good person. I was still showing up as a liar and ultimately as a cheater. So after the first year of marriage, I started down the course of being a person who cheated on my wife. Not just once, not just twice, multiple times. Because I was unwilling to actually show up and be honest. I was unwilling to actually show up and actually be a man. And so this happened over and over and over again. And I would turn it around back on her, making her feel like it was her problem, making it feel like she was the reason why I cheated, making her feel like if she'd been better, if she'd done better, then I wouldn't have cheated. We even went to counseling, went to a Christian counselor to try to get help with it. And she walked away thinking that she was the problem, that it was her fault, that if she would have been a better wife, then I wouldn't have cheated, which is all ridiculous and all untrue. Did this happen to you? Do you have someone in your life that has blamed you for him cheating on you? Like someone who has shown up and has either lied or cheated on you and turned around back on you being like, well, it's your fault. If you wouldn't have done this, if you wouldn't have shown up this way, it's your fault. If you had this. If you had someone who's cheated on you and then flipped it around and put it back on you, blamed you for their cheating, type in me into the chat. Just type it in. Just say me. Hey, this is what I've experienced. Because you're going to see this happen over and over and over with a toxic person. He's going to continue to blame you for it because he doesn't want to take accountability. He doesn't want to be honest with himself and with anybody else. This is who I was. Continually blaming other people for the problems that I was creating. Saying it was their fault. Saying it was my wife's fault. Saying it was someone else's fault. All because it had to be someone else's fault versus me. I didn't want to own it. I didn't want to be accountable. I didn't want to be honest with the situation about anything. So I continued to blame it on her. Someone else's fault. It's not mine. This piece confuses. It puts people in a fog. It puts people in a place where they're like, I don't know how to actually get free. And it leaves you trapped. And this is what my wife dealt with for years. Being trapped in the relationship, being trapped because mentally and emotionally, I had her stuck in the relationship. She wasn't going to get out because of how I was showing up, gaslighting, confusing her, having her have panic attacks, all of these things. You're like, why would I even tell this? Because I need you to understand it happens and this shit is real. Many of you are experiencing it right now and you don't realize what you're actually experiencing. The abuse is actually going on. The stuff that's confusing you on a day-to-day basis where you're like, he keeps blaming me and saying that I'm cheating, but I haven't been cheating. I don't understand what's going on. It's probably because he's cheating. And he's trying to feel better about himself by projecting it onto you. I accused my wife countless times of cheating on me. Guess how many times she cheated on me? 0. But I didn't want to feel bad, so I wanted to put it on someone else. The confusion is so hard to break out of. It took my wife's therapist looking at her dead in the face and saying, hey, you did not point a gun to his head and force him to cheat. For my wife to start to realize that it wasn't her fault. Because I've told her it's her fault. Different counselors have told her it's her fault. All these things that are really awful told her it's her fault. But it's not. And it wasn't. And it didn't have anything to do with her. This is the piece that people get confused on and get locked into relationship for a long time and they don't get free. Because they start to believe that they're at fault for another person's decisions. My wife started to believe that she was the one that was wrong because of my decisions, because of my inability to show up as a man, because of my inability to actually be honest and tell the truth. And so as a result, she stayed much longer than what she should have because of that simple fact. Until one day it clicked. Until one day she saw he's still not changing. He's still not getting any better. He's still not transforming into the man that I actually want him to be. And she packed up her bags, she grabbed her daughter, and she left. because she realized that it didn't have anything to do with her. She realized that she couldn't save me. She realized that she couldn't fix me. She realized that there was nothing she could do to make me better. But she had to make a step for herself, for her daughter, and for her own freedom. That's the piece that many of you are questioning right now and you're dreading. I don't know if I can actually make that decision. I don't know if I can actually make that choice. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I don't know if I can do it on my own. And there's all these doubts and thoughts that are going to wage against your life right now, questioning you and making you doubt you can't do this. And it'll leave you trapped. It'll leave you stuck in a toxic relationship for longer than what you want, justifying it and thinking maybe it'll be okay. Maybe he'll change. It'll be better this way for the kids, and telling yourself a bunch of lies to keep yourself stuck in a relationship that ultimately is eating you alive. Some of you are looking for freedom from this, and you're not sure how to actually get free, how to actually move forward because of the person that's lied to you, the person that's cheated on you, the person that's confused you over and over and over again. Now, I need you to hear this loud and clear. If you're with someone right now and he is not willing to be honest about himself, he is not willing to be honest about the things that he's done, he's not willing to be honest about the situation that he has caused, you need to leave, because you're with a liar that doesn't care about you, doesn't care about himself. Throw away the labels and look at what are the facts of the situation. The facts are he's a liar. The facts are he's a cheater. The facts are you don't have any truth to base a relationship on. How long will you stay? Now, in order to leave, there's a couple things that happen. We have to be able to help you change the mindset, to change the thought process. Otherwise, you will go back. So if I just look at you today and I tell you, hey, you need to leave, and you're like, Ben said it, I'm going to leave, and you pack up your bags and you walk away right now, you will probably go back. You're like, but you just said to leave. Yes. But if we don't change the mindset, you will continue to be stuck. You will continue to be sucked back into a place that will continue to take away your freedom, take away your self-esteem, take away your confidence, take away your joy, take away your interaction with your kids, take away everything from you. And you will be free. What do you actually want today? Do you want to be free? Freedom is a choice that first starts in your mind. It first starts with understanding, let me look at the facts of the situation. Let me see that this is actually real. Let me take a look at the evidence that I have. Let me take a look at the things that I've seen. Let me take a look at the evidence and the things that have been demonstrated by him. And I actually know, hey, he's a liar and he's a cheater based on what I've seen. Then you take a look at all those different things and you start to go back and forth being like, I don't want to admit it. I don't want to believe it. Maybe he'll change. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe we can get past this. At least he hasn't hit me. Like there's all these stories that you'll tell yourself. And we have to sit down. We have to go back and forth. What is actually real? And you have to get back to the facts. The facts are the only thing that's actually going to set you free from the relationship that you're in. From the liar, from the cheater. It's the only thing that's going to set you free, because we have to change the mindset here. The story, the lies that you're telling yourself, thinking he's going to change and it doesn't get better, believing that he's going to change and it just gets worse. Now we have to make a move. Now we have to make a decision.